Hello and welcome to the AnsweRED podcast. My name is Paweł Burza and I'm joined by my friend and co-host, Sebastian Kalemba.
Hello everyone. But hey, what are we doing here today?
We are present at Promised Land Art Festival and we're going to have a series of episodes where we showcase the talent that comes to this event. And what a better way to start by talking about the people who have the vision behind the event. So we have Sebastian Kalemba, who is one of the directors of the festival, Gosia Sawnor, who is an events director at CD PR, but also is a director of the festival, and Paweł Mielniczuk, who you know from the arts episode if you watched our previous episodes, and they're going to talk about Promised Land as a whole. All right, Gosia, Paweł, welcome to the podcast. It's awesome to have you. Paweł for the second time, our first second-timer, I would say.
And you remember we promised that for every single person that comes here second time, we actually owe him a whiskey after all.
Where is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, long time no see. Great to see you again.
And we have Gosia for the first time.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's awesome
that's
to
my
have you.
first time ever in front of the camera, so I'm a little bit stressed. Yeah.
No, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be
I don't
fine.
see it. I don't see it at all.
Yeah.
You are a camera,
Camera beast.
stage beast. You know?
Sure.
We always start these with a brief introduction, and actually, this is gonna be the episode that starts our episodes from Promised Land because we're at Promised Land, and we had this in the intro. And the three of you are the festival directors, so the executive minds behind the festival itself. So first both of you can introduce yourselves. We'll also get to Sebastian, so we kind of know his role as a director of the festival, and then we'll get to the questions. So I'll be mostly asking the three of you stuff, and you tell me how Promised Land started and all that jazz. Okay? So who wants to start?
Great. So I'm Gosia Sawnor. I'm 10 years already at CD PROJEKT RED. And I'm working as a global events associate director, and for the Promised Land, I'm executive director.
Perfect.
And I'm Paweł Mielniczuk. I'm 18 years in CDPR right now. I'm working there as an art director, and since 2016, I'm the festival director of Promised Land Arts Festival.
Awesome. Sebastian, we know you. But what's your like festival history?
I'm kind of a program director. That's the first year that I really, didn't put as much as I put previously.
In terms of
so
work, yeah.
Gosia and her team and Paweł, who's super well organized, put so much effort into this festival. I'm very often responsible for organizing and contacting speakers, as I tend to go to some events around the world. When I spot someone that has this passion, and looks for the passion from others, most often I take a contact. I have a small chat, small talk, and then we talk together and we contact the person. We try to actually create the feeling to make the setup of speakers, the setup of mentors in a way that they're very open for networking. And that has no problem with kind of an ego to really be able to talk to students, to adepts, to people that are aspiring artists, right? So mostly I'm responsible for that. And we've kind of started it together, right?
Yeah. So I want to know the history. Like, what's the history behind the festival? Because we know what it is today. It's the 6th edition? Yeah, perfect. I got that one right. And I remember I used to work like on the 2nd edition because I joined, I think, just after the first one happened, if I'm not mistaken. And I knew the idea behind it, but what can you tell me about the history? How did this start? Because knowing CDPR, there's always like either a corridor chat or someone comes up with a bright idea and then just infects everybody with the idea. So tell me.
Yeah, I think it's an initiative from the workers, from the bottom of the company, or from us. I, with Marek Madej, were traveling back in 2014, I guess, to Romania for the festival. For the first time in my life, I was on an art festival, and I came back so inspired, really pumped with ideas. I just wanted to work, harder, more, and just, do creative stuff. So it was really recharged my batteries. And Sebastian, you were on Trojan.
I was
there?
actually on THU. Then, for the very first time, I was giving there 2 lectures.
That's Trojan Horse.
Trojan Horse and
was
it was
a
a
unicorn.
unicorn by by Andrzej Lurenko, who was actually a speaker here last year. And I was smashed. That I honestly, I was smashed by this event. By people, by atmosphere, by everything. I haven't experienced anything close to that before, and I remember getting back, and we had a chat, right? We had
that would be great. Of course, unfortunately, it was impossible to send all our artists and our teams to such festivals because I wanted them to be also as inspired, to be there. But it was financially impossible, of course, to send everyone every year to stuff. So the initiative we thought about was, okay, let's make some kind of internal trainings. For example, let's bring some stars to the office, meet our artists with them, make something like this. And I think this idea was growing with us for like 2 years. We were just talking with the board; they were not convinced about it, etc. And the breakthrough was after the release of The Witcher 3. After the release, of course, there's like a time for like everything slowed down a little bit, in the company, and this idea appeared. Okay, so our boss Adam Badowski approached us, say, okay, guys, so let's do it, but it's not internal festival. Let's make a real festival in Poland because we're missing something like that, right? He contacted us with the city of Łódź, who introduced also this fantastic EC1 venue, and CD PROJEKT and Łódź became like a partnership upon the Promised Art Festival. And then we met Gosia for the first time.
Yeah, so my memory was like, I just joined the CD project, and it was after a few months I was working there. We met in the kitchen, I remember, and they reached out to me and asked, Gosia, so Adam Badowski said that you are doing the events. Can you help us doing small festival that we would like to organize maybe next year? So we had to do everything from scratch. I mean, we didn't have the full idea how it will look like, but we had to really work on it from scratch, from the beginning.
And we did not have much resources, right? The first festival was a very small team, like we were doing a lot of stuff around
I remember that we were working after hours, to be honest. It was like Paweł and me, and you probably as well.
Marek.
And Marek, we were working like from 10 p.m. To work on this festival, and it was insane.
So we brought a lot of knowledge about events and festival, how to organize multiple things, right? But there's so many new things for us also to do. Like how to plan it.
Starting from the name, even I remember this, brainstorms, ideas, how this festival should be named. At least, I think Promised Land works really well in Łódź.
It has a history here, right?
Yeah.
Then the design of the factory, this Art Deco vibe around
especially
it.
that we are present in a factory which has been renovated. This used to be a power plant, right?
Yeah.
So having it also the look of it and the insides and the interior is very.
When you came here for the first time and saw the venue, it's like, whoa, that's such an inspiring place.
It's the best venue in
fantastic.
Poland.
We can just sit here and look on the walls, and everybody will be impressed.
True.
So it was getting to the speakers. It was pretty hard at the beginning, right?
Even
Nobody
t-shirts,
knew
like
us,
everything.
Right?
We had to create from scratch, right?
Yeah.
So right now, at least we have this.
The idea of the lectures, of workshops, that we want to be different. We want to do something else than
other festivals.
Other festivals. Like we want to have the workshops, which are, I think, very rare still.
Very rare. It's a trademark of this festival, like that you can really touch the art.
Yeah.
You have a hands-on work.
Exactly.
But before we get to that, what was the big idea you had in terms of like what the festival should be, like its core identity? Because you're both creatives working in the industry, so you have so much knowledge. You also know a lot of people. On the one hand, we have someone who knows everything about animation. On the other hand, we have someone who knows almost everything about art, right? And what was your idea? Like, what did you want to achieve in the beginning?
Paweł mentioned that we wanted to actually create a platform also for Reds, right? to give people opportunity to grow.
But it's not only for our people to have.
No. As
Yeah.
Paweł also mentioned, that Badowski, right? He said, hey, let's make it external. Let's make a boutique event, kind of like, no more than 1,000 people, but the quality is very important, right? And I think what is the mission of this event that we constantly repeat every single year, this is a festival that everyone unites in art. So as Gosia mentions, right, these things are really clicks to each other, like really adds to each other. Like you had the hands-on experience. It's for Reds, but also external for people that are aspiring or also already professionals that are looking for inspiration and like new ideas. You know what I mean? And networking. And the idea was that, hey, like I love what Evan said at some point during the festival, that we are alone together in this. I love this statement. It's so good, right? Because that's true. Yeah,
Yes, we are as creatives.
Yeah,
right?
we are creatives.
Yeah.
Everyone struggles. Everyone delivers something stunning. But
But we
in
are
the end,
united in art.
exactly. In the end, we gather
Yeah.
and we realize, oh my God, these people around me, they actually have the same drive and the same problems. That's great because that makes you stronger, and that's the mission, right? Of this
I would
event.
add to this, so that's the networking value, right, of meeting people and being united in art. The second, I would say, is just broadening the horizons of the artists, because I love that we have a full mix of art, right? We have game dev, we have movie industry here, advertisements, illustrators, freelancers, professionals, new people in the industry. We have animation, 2D art, 3D art, and traditional arts also. So for me, it was always super important to, so an illustrator that comes here on concept arts on the event, he shouldn't go on the concept art lectures. He should go on the sculpting classes, should go on animation lectures, just to just figure out how to, to just see what else there, right? So how he can better collaborate with other artists who are doing different specialities, right? So that's super important. And also someone who spends their life making digital art to try a physical art, right? so paint with acrylics, right? Paint a miniature,
Touch paint.
exactly. Sculpt, for example, do something physical. So that's awesome. And I think the third thing for us which was super important, as I guess a core value in Red, is the quality. Was always, no compromises in the quality.
Yeah.
And that's how Gosia helped us
Hopefully.
achieve that with her fantastic team.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to say about the team of the Promised Land, because we were growing through all the years, and now we have I think almost, or maybe even more, 50 people from CD Projekt that are working on this project. So, and they are absolutely amazing. And Paweł, because you are part of the team as well.
Yeah.
So they are absolutely amazing. So my events team, of course, I love them, but also other departments are working very hard for whole the year to make it happen.
I think it's also super important to say that nobody is hired only to make Promised Land, so it's always kind of like additional work for us,
Yes.
kind of hobby project a little bit for
Passion project, I would
passion
say.
project,
But
and
we all love it. So
it's also great that there's a lot of people from the inside the company that wants to help us, right? Even if they're not in the core team, they are coming here just volunteering to do something. For me, the best example is Gosia Mitrenga, she's our executive producer for the Polaris project, and she's on the main stage, just making sure that speakers and everything, and then people are just cannot believe it actually.
She's a Russell rabbit, you know what I mean? Like energized.
That's really awesome. And we have volunteers from games,
girls in the game.
Yeah,
They are awesome. Absolutely. Yeah, they are helping us. From last year, they started to be a volunteer for the Promised Land, and we have now other girls from games in the game, from other edition. But it's really, they are very helpful and
we should
and just
totally
great.
do an episode just about the Girls in Game initiative,
definitely.
because that's like helping aspiring people to get into the gaming industry is incredible.
That's amazing. I think also it's one thing worth to mention that CD PROJEKT as a company was founded here, right, in Łódź. So that's also a very cool circle that we kind of got back. It's a symbolic, but always the symbolism works very well at Red generally. That's one thing. And second thing is worth to remember that Łódź is a pretty, I would say,
creative
interesting city, right?
I like Łódź very much.
I personally love it too. Like so many
Same.
murals, it's very inspirational. And the fun fact is that Łódź, from since I remember, like there was always an event that had something with art, with like camera image that moved to Gliwice as far as
Bydgoszcz, I think,
and then Gliwice, I think, something like that.
Maybe,
Maybe, But
The
then
film school is here.
But
Film
we
school,
have the
very
Comic books.
international festival of comic books here for so
Exactly.
many years.
For
We
like
have this
32,
beautiful
33 years.
comic center and
Yeah.
museum here, just
Exactly.
in the AC1.
So this event is a part of the city. I can tell right now that even judging by the open day that people come and stuff, like you can tell that this is a part of the city right now.
Yeah.
Like it's not
Last
like
year we
it
had
was
the-
like 5
the
years ago,
president
6
of Łódź here.
Yeah,
also,
President of Łódź.
yeah.
So that's a cool fact also to remember.
And also about this, you mentioned Art for All, right? This open day that's happening. It's also this giving back to the city a little bit, right? Because we have this closed part for focus more on the professionals.
I was going to ask about the structure of the of the whole event.
So the Promised Land is 2 events actually, right? Every year we are making 2 events actually for different target audience. Let's say it. So we have the professional part, which is happening now. It's like 3 days focused on development, meeting artists working already in different industries, sharing experience, networking, etc. But we also have the Art for All.
Yes.
Maybe you guys want to tell more about it.
Okay, you want me to tell more? Okay, so Art for All. We just changed the name because until last year it was called Open Day. And now we changed the name, we changed the logo, and now it's Art for All, and it's really Art for All. I mean, people from Łódź, people from whole Poland, because main lectures and demos and what we are organizing here are happening in Polish. So everyone is welcome. The tickets are very, very affordable. And we can provide many good things here. Like, I think portfolio reviews, that's my favorite thing.
That's the big one,
Yeah. So
generally guidance, right?
yeah.
And
It's
people
really
are coming
hard,
back.
for young people to get the feedback regarding their works. And here it's possible, right?
The thing is that that's for young people. It's actually right now, like when you have Reddits, like Discords, Facebook, you name it, right? It's actually very easy to get the very like a judgmental feedback that is worthless. And the people know that they come here and they have people like Paweł doing reviews, for example, of illustration. They will get a value, but they will Lucian, like all the artists from Red, like they will get valuable feedback from people from the industry that puts the quality in front, and they know it. And they get this, and the fun fact is that the people come back. Like, we hired already a few people from like.
It was great actually on portfolio reviews. This and last year we had reviewers from CD PROJEKT, which are in the past coming over here on open day to show us their portfolios, right? And we love them so much that it ended up with them working for us right now.
And that's amazing when there are some people that, let's say, coming back second, third year in the row. And you see them growing, and then they redirect a little bit, and then see you next year, and they are very persistent, and then and I had a chat with one person, and she came and she said, I already work in the industry in the small company, like I got the job after the recent, like, what? Yeah, and this is amazing.
Incredible. That's incredible.
This is it.
You see the impact of the event.
And this year we had 178 portfolio reviews done during this one day, and 1,000 people who came over for open day just to see the lectures, meet us, etc. And also, it's not only CD PROJEKT RED giving the portfolio reviews, of course, but we had so many other partners and game development companies who supported us with this.
And we trust them,
and that's fantastic.
It's very interesting, and portfolio reviews I feel like have the biggest impact. There's always a lot of stories that everybody shares, like after a whole day. Like you've been talking about someone coming with their demo reel, and you see the progress like every year that is getting better. I was talking with Lucian yesterday. He said he had a person come with a whole stack of arts, but what the person was missing was trying to find the identity, the core pillars in terms of the visuals for the project that they're working on. It's like a personal project. And he took 5 arts and put them separately out of like a whole binder of things. And the person was like, you could see like their eyes lit up, and they understood at that moment, these are my core things. And then they started like placing the other arts where they
beautiful
fall
mind
into
moment.
the whole thing. Exactly.
Everything alive.
Exactly.
But it's actually great because it's not only portfolio reviews, but it's also like giving some support and guidance, like you said, right? So I had also two guys asking me if they're working on a small game, right? They're pretty advanced already, and there are only two of them, and they need some external opinion about it, right? So it came to me with the project, showing me the game, and what do you think about it? Can I give them some artistic guidance, right? Is it right? Should I do this or that? So it's also
Incredible.
great,
Yeah.
actually.
And you have like your hands-on approach to kind of talking to people, giving them direction. Then it pays back in a product and also helps them feel confident. Yeah.
So we started with the Art for All with the portfolio reviews, but we think that it's so valuable that that we started doing also portfolio reviews during Promised Land, main event. Which was also, very popular during these 3 days. And I think it's great. And also, because we have more professionalists, right?
Yeah, from different professions also.
From different professions, but they are giving the feedback to themselves. That's it's also great.
What is also very cool that we are always adding something like a pearl in the crown, like something like that is out of the equation, because it sounds like we do only art here, talk about only art. But here you have a sound design lecture.
Yeah.
Here you have a lawyer who gives you the advice about how to manage while being a freelancer, right? Technological writing, quest design, right? All this kind of stuff. And
even the events. Just before the podcast, I had a meeting with a girl who wanted to work as an event manager.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Exactly.
We even have a tattoo artist that are doing the art real time.
You can get tattoos here.
So that's epic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else is there apart from lectures? Can you talk about like specific things that people, because we have a demo stage, we have workshops, like what do you do on these workshops and on the demos? Like tell me a little bit, if someone wants to come to Promised Land and hasn't made, their mind up yet, how would you say like what's happening on these things?
You ask me or Pavel?
No. Any of you?
Well, I think the workshops are the biggest value. It's something that not many festivals have, right? So hands-on workshops, so you can actually participate and with the artist create something, right? Sculpt, paint, etc. So we have both digital and traditional workshops. On digital, we have a workshop with 50 machines, which I think is the biggest challenge always every year
set up all the
set
PCs
them up, right?
with all the software.
Yeah,
but with our great IT team, everything is possible.
Yeah.
So it works beautiful. It looks beautiful, when you enter this room, it's already very inspiring for the wallpapers there, and seeing the also the participant working on it. So there we have, the whole range of, from animation, illustration, learning how to make previews, how to sculpt in ZBrush for illustrators who don't use that before, etc. So depending on the lecture, there are different workshops. And then we have the physical workshops, right? We have, for example, acrylic painting, we have sculpting in clay, we have miniature painting, which is incredibly popular actually among artists. It's something that I think everybody always wanted to try, but they were shy to get into because you need to get some paints, get the miniature, you don't know which one, etc. So you can try it here, and many people I spoke later actually buy those stuff and have this hobby.
Do it at home.
It's also important for digital artists, so you have a hobby that you can step from the PC in the evening and just do something, without
tactile.
Staring on the monitor. This year, first time we have workshops on cosplay, right? And makeup.
And audio.
And audio, of course. Making follies. That was super cool. I was meeting some people. I was stepping on lettuce, make some sounds. It was so cool.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
That's what I love. Yeah.
What was actually pretty interesting, every year I experienced that each event has some meta theme that connects all people. I'll give you an example, because that's the 6th edition, but we had to two years of break because of pandemic, of course,
Yeah.
right? So let's imagine they're like 8 years in the row, right? With the 2 years gap. And every year, and guess what? People, you can experience people here from around the world, from New Zealand, you name it, right? States, Portugal, Poland, of course, Germany and stuff. And the fun fact is that you talk to people and they actually all experience the world generally and the trend in a pretty similar way. So, for example, after the pandemic, of course, the people were like, "Oh my God, I was so tired of being alone, home office. I've been missing events. I'm so happy to see you guys." Like, right? Then I remember before pandemic, the theme was like, "Oh my God, the industry is really busy and so competitive. Everyone is rushing. Everyone is posting ArtStation, this and this and this and that. So much good art, overdosing the socials and everything." Today I hear that people are like kind of around the circle. It's like, yeah, getting back a little bit, having fine art,
Yeah.
like
Traditional art.
painting,
Yeah.
sculpting, taking this easy.
Slowing
Forget
down.
about
Yeah.
socials, like AI art, right?
Last
That's
year,
very
topic
interesting.
was-
what
Last
you're
year was
saying there.
AI, right?
So, yeah.
Today, the
Yeah.
people are like, yeah, I'm not scared anymore. I'm a
Yeah.
human. I'm better. You know what I mean? And this is the fun fact is like nobody will tell anyone that there is any meta theme of the event. They bring this meta theme unintentionally. They just say it out loud, and you connect these dots. They said it, she said it, he said it, and you connect it, and it's like, oh, actually, that's a meta theme of this event today, to this year, and that's very interesting.
For me, I would say that meta theme, what I noticed this year, that many people, they are changing the industry, they are changing the companies, and here I see people that are hugging all the time because they haven't seen each other for for a long time, for example, and they meet here, and it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. What's also
Art
interesting,
family, right?
Yeah, it's I'm saying like this becomes like an extended family. Like I've previously worked on Promised Land, but last year was the first time where I actually came to the event because there wasn't any other things like stopping me from doing it. And Gosia put me in the core team, and I remember it was super intimidating in the beginning because I look at people like Brian Matias, for example, who was here last year, worked on like some of the coolest Star Wars stuff that I consume like crazy. And then you have others who are like my favorite Magic illustrators because I'm into card games, of course. And
Damian
you're like,
Mayer.
yeah,
Oh my God,
yeah.
man.
And then you're like, how do I even approach these people? Like they seem like they're like in the stars pretty much, and you can't really reach them. But then you meet with them, you talk with them. You're like, oh, I like your stuff, and then we start talking, and it's just.
And they are humble, and
yeah,
you
there's-
realize they are humans.
Yeah, there's
wow.
yeah, they're just human beings
That's
like us.
amazing, right?
And
Yeah.
it turns out when we talk, like they're inspired by the same stuff that we're inspired by, or they're just happy that you're saying that I love your stuff. And when you name a specific card, they're like, oh, this one, what do you like about it? And it starts the whole conversation.
Yeah.
And then you come back next year, and it's like everybody's hugging, high-fiving, going to
That's awesome.
parties together. It's incredible.
That's awesome. Vibe.
Like,
I remember
yeah.
the first events, getting on the stage at the beginning to open the ceremony and talk to those people. On the first event, it was so stressful.
Oh my God,
like
I
all those
remember this.
great
I was
artists,
shaking.
speakers,
Yeah.
people from all the companies looking at us right here. And now it's just, hey, again,
It's so easy.
great
Yeah.
to see
Yeah.
you.
It's like, you know the drill, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. like, oh, it's so
It's-
refreshing.
yeah, it's crazy because it's people you look up to, right?
Blurring the boundaries
Yeah, it's so good.
globally, which is great.
And yeah, exactly. And by the way, we have we have one of our lawyers was a DJ, right? Also,
Thank you, Martin.
yeah. That's also pretty epic,
We
right?
call him DJ GDPR.
Yeah, exactly.
It is.
What's the plan for the future when it comes to Promised Land? Do you feel like this is an event that needs to grow? Maybe it doesn't need to grow. Should it be an event that is like closed but still kind of open? Like, what's your idea? Like you said, there's a like a meta for each year. Like, what would you want to see moving into the future, and what Promised Land is?
Gosia?
I think for the art wall, I would say that we want to grow. We want to grow. We want to make sure that people know where to go if they do not have any idea where to go. I mean, we are here to help them,
Guide them.
to guide them. Yeah, and I think that's for the Art for All. For Promised Land, we always wanted to stay as not too big, not too small, but to make sure that everyone can take part in the workshops, that everyone can speak with our speakers, can talk with our speakers easily, and it's not like a big mass of people that no one knows each other. And
and the number of speakers is growing from what I know, so there is more and more people coming to Promised Land.
Happy mistakes, right?
and we also have people returning to like this edition from last year, from previous years.
There are speakers that are like, they literally approach us saying, hey, can I get back? I have great workshop. This is my favorite event in the world. And like, literally they say that. And we are very honored, right, to hear that. And we are very open also because these people are amazing, right? And they create yearly, they create something new. They represent something new. They so that's super great. That's a perfect synergy, right? You don't have to advertise. No, right now right now people know that it's worth to come here. Because the quality is here. Great people are here. And this is perfect, right? I remember beginnings. Oh my God, it was tough. You had to make a Van Damme split.
Poland, where?
Poland, what? Poland, right? Oh, Russia? What? Poland. Okay, I know. Where is it? Okay, cool. But why? Like, and then, and then CD PROJEKT was helping. We are from CD PROJEKT. CD PROJEKT from which year? From Cyberpunk. Okay. Guys, all right. Yeah, it was helpful. Plus, we have a lot of contacts, right?
First 3 editions really hard to bring the speakers here, right? And then every year was easier because they talk to their friends and let them know how great it is, right? We have great hospitality, great event, great energy, great people here. So it is a pleasure to come back and send friends, recommend this event to them. So this is great. And and about the future of festival and growing, we are always listening to the feedback every time you're running around talking with people. Like, what do you like? What didn't you like? And trying to slightly adjust it so it's never the same. The venue changes, the event changes. We're adding new elements, and we'll see what's in the future. I definitely would like to expand the workshop. They're unfortunately the hardest to deliver because it's
a lot of work.
Also because of the limitations.
How many people can actually have
a lot of preparation, a lot of planning. Not many actually speakers want to do a workshop because it takes like 4 hours workshop. They need to prepare something. Also, it's more harder sometimes than do a presentation. And unfortunately, we cannot make the massive capacity, right? So the workshops, the digital ones are like for 50 people maximum. We cannot fit more computers in the space actually. And the traditional are usually 25 to 30 people because there's like a limited amount of people that one person, a tutor can talk to and give feedback. So,
but we are trying to squeeze as many workshops as possible, even if they are not for hundreds of people, right?
I also like that this year, I don't know if this was present last year, I think not, you have the possibility to, even if you're not, working on the workshop, like doing the thing that you're supposed to be doing, you can come in and actually watch and observe, which I think is also really cool because sometimes some people might feel a little bit intimidated, especially like if you have to sit down with like Tomek Radziewicz and do some sculpting and you've never sculpted before on clay, and you might come 1 year and kind of see what people are doing and you're like, okay, next year for sure I'm coming back and I want to be part of the workshop and I want to participate in it because it will, improve my art, or it will actually show me a different perspective, something like you said, to try something different that I'm comfortable with. So that's really cool.
You can even it sounds like it's more for art, more for content, but also you can spot programmers here, right? The people that are that open-minded. There is in game development. There is no art. There's no art without a technology, right? And you have programmers here coming also. First of all, opening their mind. Secondly, we for example sometimes people know that most of the red during this time is here, like a lot of red is here. And so you can have a, let's say, tech summit, use it like with, for example, this year we have Ari from Epic Games, the Unreal Evangelist, so that's also pretty cool, because also as you said, Gosia, right? People changing companies, but it's way easier right now to even exchange the companies from the movie industry to the game industry, and people, it's becoming everything becomes really closer. Companies like ILM doing shots, doing movies, doing they're using the technology that we use, right? So it is also pretty cool that these people know, and they come here to exchange this also perspective, right? Yeah.
That's incredible. The thing that really took me like by surprise last year, and also talks like pretty much about the venue that we're in. I remember I was responsible for the main hall, the machine hall, to announce speakers, and there is parts of the floor which is like glass, but like very thick glass, and below you could see a workshop of live painting. And it's incredible because on top you had someone talking about VFX or animation, and then over there you have something traditional, and then you go a little bit further, you have sculpting, and then you go somewhere else, you have something else. Like there's just so many things, like you said, to choose from, that you can kind of like tailor like where you want to go and create a map, and it's just it's so cool. Yeah,
trying technology for great partners, right? We have a lot of 3D printing, for example, stuff going on here. We have like mock-up equipment, right? Trying new tablets or stuff, that you can use as an artist in your work. So that's also great. So
sponsors, partners, like they have their own booths, let's say. But it's what I like also about it is it's not a event like where you think most events are, like commercial events where it's all about just business, like who can I potentially like see as a partner. It's more about networking in the sense of like friendship, collaborations, maybe cool collaborations in the future, possibilities in terms of other people going and doing different projects. There's a lot of freelancers also talking about their craft, and also what are the difficulties for them that they had to overcome. And this also kind of bleeds into the young people who are coming in. Yeah. So it's like it's an interesting mixture of people from different walks of life doing different things.
This is what I love, for example, the most. No expo vibes, like no business vibes, no.
Yeah, that's true. And it's awesome that you mentioned networking, because that's another thing that we want to really focus on. And what I mean by networking, we are organizing after each day the after party, which is at EC1. And after that, we want people to visit Łódź, even, if they do not know, to see the city. Yeah, so we recommend a place where they can go and network even more. After party. After party, yes.
That's how we call it.
Yeah. And I know that people really appreciate it.
And also the laid back atmosphere of it. Yeah. Like we're not trying to achieve a higher goal. It's all about actually connecting with people and sharing the experience. And that's what I always loved about CD Projekt, is the fact that we're open to share knowledge. I mean, the podcast is also one of the examples. Like it's here to talk about the culture and also what we want to achieve. And the same thing with Promised Land. It's all about the culture and sharing our experience and talking about it, and actually being united in art, right? Yeah. Because that's what it's all about.
I also love, one of my favorite things in after parties since last year is the mural, right? So we're setting this 4-meter wall where everybody paints. There's beautiful lighting, it's a framed wall and markers, and people can draw. And so we have those speakers, people from different companies, of different, like people who want to enter the industry, people who are professionals already working years in the industry, drawing together. Yesterday we were drawing like a bunch of mushrooms. Everybody had to add additional happy mushroom to them. So we create a beautiful mural with those, and everybody collaborated in this, and it was just fantastic to see them working hand in hand.
Yeah, we also take those back to the studio in Warsaw, and we use it as decoration throughout the studio. So whenever you're walking through some buildings and you spot the art, you're like, man, I remember I was there. I remember the artists that do this. Exactly. But also the different art styles that are on it is incredible, because everybody has their own style. So it's like this beautiful collage collage of like all
Yeah.
these different
Yeah.
art styles and
I
cool
love it.
stuff. Yeah.
It's very infectious. Like, you exactly, the one person starts the mushroom and it follows, and someone has the bridge. Then there's the mushroom family. There is a huge kind of a piece
Atomic
of
mushroom.
yeah, it's amazing. And it's like kind of, you actually get back half an hour later and you spot new mushrooms, right? It's like crazy. It's like in real life, you don't,
Yeah.
over the night you have a mushroom, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I remember also last year seeing Peter Hahn like draw live.
oh yeah.
It's like
That's
some
a
of these
spectacle.
people you feel like they're like legends, right? And you don't know what to expect, but then you see them actually in action. You're like,
He was working
whoa.
together with Marcin Minor, right?
Yeah.
They both started
Yeah.
the mural. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, people were a bit shy to add something to this, but then
Yeah.
just start to go crazy, and expanding.
Yeah, there's some
was
even some
awesome.
like doodles and stuff like that maybe someone that doesn't have the
not
the craft,
everyone
let's say, but they add
exactly.
something to the whole thing, which
Yeah. The crazy is how both of them are great artists, like amazing artists, and how open they are when it comes to sharing knowledge.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's amazing. Peter Hahn is like, I don't know, you can follow him to the like end of the world. You know what I mean? Like he's like this kind of a mentor that, what's going on? First time him being here.
Yeah.
So like his sketchbook, he was always drawing, and always talking to people, simultaneously drawing.
Yeah.
And it
I
was
was
like,
worried about him because he
Yeah.
spent here. He didn't visit any lectures and
Yeah.
stuff. He was just sitting in one place with like 20 people around.
all the
At
time.
For
least you
4
knew
days
where,
in a
where
row.
he is because
Yeah,
you
that's
knew
like
that
you're
if you
surrounded.
see.
It was like surrounded with by allocates. You know what I mean? Like really like
Yeah.
and like day and night. Like
Yeah.
so it wasn't a spare moment that he was alone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's incredible. Incredible. One place that brings artists
yeah.
together and shared passion. That's the most incredible thing.
This cool thing is like for a couple of days, it's like a microclimate. It's like like a
Yeah.
world, right? It's like one square. And whenever you move, there's an art, but different form of art. And then, as you said, right?
Yeah.
You can look from the second floor even through the floors, through and you see a lecture, a portfolio review, a painting, and someone is sculpting.
Yeah.
And tattoo artist is next to
Yeah.
it. That's
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Super hard to get back to reality after this, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like-
I was actually going to ask before that. I was also going to say that what's really cool is that you have art books here, which are normally very hard to get.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially from artists that it's not something that you go and you can actually buy.
Especially with the
in any
signature
store.
of the actual
and
artist.
then you can get them signed, which is even better. Like I had my magic card signed, I had the art book signed of the artist that I love, so it's also like it's perfect. But what about actually, like you said, after the event, coming back home? Like, I know it's a big event. It's a lot of hours to keep the whole thing running. But what do you come back with after Promised Land?
With inspiration, I guess, motivation. It's just I want to do stuff, I want to try stuff.
Exactly.
Well, first there's like 2 days of sleeping, just
Yeah.
resting after this because it's really
That's
tiring.
what I was fishing for.
Exactly.
but then it's a fuel for the entire year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Russia.
I think it's very exhausting, to prepare everything. And we, as you all know that we are working on it whole the year, to be honest. And after that, it's like, sometimes you can feel very, very tired, but after all, it gives you so many energy back that you want to do it for the next
Yeah.
year as well.
This battery is like pum 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 pum.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like a recharge
Yeah.
Yeah.
fully. It really pays off.
For me,
Yeah.
it's like always, weeks before the events. Oh my God, last time, never again. Never again. And then the event happens, and people are laughing of me because I say the same things all the.
Yeah.
I say never again, and the day after the event, okay, so who's next? What's
Yeah,
next?
what's next?
How do you
What are we
expand
doing
next
next?
year?
What are we doing
Yeah.
next? Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, I love that everybody says the same thing about the battery, the creative battery, but also the kind of, I want to say it restores faith in humanity in a sense that we're talking with a lot of people that, on during like your day to day, we're always rushing, we're running, we're focused on work, on tasks and stuff like that. And since this is kind of like a passion project that also takes a lot of work and takes a lot of our time, in the end, the payback is just incredible because, like you all said, you come back inspired, you come back fueled, you come back, with so much energy that you want to take this energy and put it back into your work and the things that you're doing, and also share it with others
You
who
came back
maybe
with
didn't come.
a lot of new friends as well.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Stay in touch.
Exactly.
True.
And a lot of new art and art books and
The sculptures.
and sculptures from Tomek. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, there is a moment, I don't know how about you, but I have it always every single time. That first of all, I feel super recharged. I feel super fulfilled. I'm super happy. But there's a day after the event that first of all, of course, I'm exhausted. But second, because the level of dopamine that it was so high that it drops down so, and then I sit in my armchair at home and like this, and then
What to do
and then
now?
there's at least I have this 5 minutes of realizing what's going on. Then I hug my dog. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, this is also good, right? You know what I mean? This is also good. You don't have to be, always on top of your game, right?
Yeah.
But there's this moment that you have to find yourself.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you don't hear this buzz. You have no Bjorn Hori to talk to next to you. You know what I mean?
And a lot of artists are also introverts. They say it openly. So for them, being part of a big social gathering is hard, but it happens naturally, and they feel like they're interacting with people who are on the same, let's say, wavelength.
Yeah.
But then they need a couple days to kind of level out because it's a lot of, like you said, it's a lot of dopamine, it's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. Magic happens here. That's for sure. All right. I have a question about, because that's the thing that we'll be gonna discuss soon, probably, right? How do we want to surprise people next year?
Oh.
Because that's always, as you said, there's always something is changing, right? Like even the change of the venue, which was absolutely not up to us, it is a surprising element, and actually people are very happy about that fact. That, it's easy to spot people, you gather, really there's no second building, actually you can go there, but the people really are happy with that change. And there's always room for improvement, right?
I think the first thing would be to gather the feedback from people who participated in this year event. So then we will discuss internally for sure what would be...
What's next?
Yeah, what's
And we'll
next.
keep it a secret.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
We'll not
definitely.
tell you.
No, don't tell. But definitely you have the room for
Of course,
feedback.
always.
Yeah, always. That's great.
Yeah.
That's also a red way.
It's
This is what I was fishing for.
It's super comforting every year that people on the event saying that best event ever and better than last year, right? And then next year
That's
that's
what you're
what I want to
aiming
hear.
for.
That's what I want to
Exactly.
hear. That was
Raising the
best
bar, right?
and better than last year. So
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. Last question. I asked this to everybody, and I want to kind of get your answers. What inspires you overall? I'm not talking about just Promised Land, but the whole creative art events. What inspires you for your day-to-day?
I think I'm inspired by people in general. I mean, different characters, different people, they bring so many skills or knowledge that I don't have. And I think that's the most inspiring for me. Talking with people that, they're different than me.
Yeah. Perfect.
to me, honestly, anything can inspire me. Random things, quite often. So sometimes here it's a great lecture. Sometimes it's a person I met. Sometimes it's some achievement someone made, and sometimes it's a 3D printer. So you never know.
Beautiful. Awesome. I got all my answers.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you for coming on the
Thank you
podcast.
so much
Thank
for
you so
coming.
much.
Thank you so much.
It was great to talk with you.
And this is just
Same
the
here.
beginning of a series of awesome episodes with
Yeah.
awesome people. So I can't wait for everybody to check it out.
Yeah, so perfect starter.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks a lot for watching, and we hope that you did enjoy this episode as much as we did.
It was an amazing one. And as always, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, all that jazz. Let us know what you're thinking about the episodes. And as always, let's stay in touch, and we'll see you in the next one.